And so, hello guys, and welcome back again. So today we have another deck tech standard for the Final Fantasy set, and this is one of the deck brews, a popular content creator for Magic, SaffronOlive, and they call this one as Kuja Wizards, particularly referring to this card from the new set, Kuja Genom Sorcerer, which can transform into Trans Kuja Fate Defiant. So let's check first his ability and why it was themed like this for this kind of deck setup. It is a 3/4 human mutant wizard, but its ability that at the beginning of your end step, you can create a tap 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to its opponent. And then, if you control 4 or more wizards, you can transform Kuja into Trans Kuja. So Trans Kuja version is a 4/6 creature that has the ability of Flame Star. If wizard you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double damage with it. So basically this deck particularly just goes with the Rakdos colors and utilizes the new cards that has triggers or in a way effects that can create these wizard tokens, and particularly also a wizard by themselves. So let's take a look at the lineup. Let's check first. We have 4 artifacts, 8 creatures including Kuja, 10 instants, 14 sorceries, and 24 lands. So let's take a look first with the artifact. We have Black Mage Rod. So this is a uncommon. This is just basically a common card. To cast equipment, little job select. So equip creature with this is a hero creature token. It becomes 2/1 because of the +1/+0, and then whenever you cast a command creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to its opponent, and then it's a wizard and its other type. So basically, this is a 2-drop for a 2/1 creature with this ability that can ping off opponents for each non-creature spell you cast. So with this kind of curve, we also go with another 2-drop in the form of this creature from Bloombarrow, Coruscation Mage. There is a 2-mana 2/2 with Offspring. You can pay additional 2 to create a token of it. Token copy, and then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature will deal 1 damage to its opponent. So basically, this is also the same with this, and you have a Coruscation Mage token that can be created for the token Offspring. So basically, it becomes also a 2-drop and a 4-drop per se for this kind of deck. Now let's take a look at the instance. Of course, it's composed of spot removals with burn effects with burst lightning, of course, 3 copies in the deck. We also have the 3 copies of Go for the Thought as a solid spot removal. In addition, also are your cardo effects, semi-cardo effects in the form of Opera Love Song, which goes to get you to exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you may play those cards until your next end step, or you can target 1 or 2 creatures to get +2/+0 until end of turn. So in any case, you can deal additional damage, or you can exile top cards to play more of your creatures or non-creature spells, which in turn trigger your wizards, like this one with Black Mage Rod created in Coruscation Mage. And also, let's check out the sorcery, wherein which several which creates these tokens. So particularly, we have cornered by Black Mages, there's 3 copies in the deck. So this is a sorcery that has an edit effect. Target opponent sacrifice a creature of your choice, and then you will create a 0/1 Black Wizard creature token with this ability that pings off opponents whenever a creature spell is cast. So in addition to that, we have 4 copies of Circle Power. This is another Wizard generator. At the same time, gets you to draw 2 cards and lose 2 life, and then wizards you control gets +1/+0 and gain lifelink. So those lost life trigger gets you to gain life again because of this ability to pump up your wizards. More so, if you can curve out with this kind of setup wherein you have your Kuja or Coruscation Mage in play and a few wizard tokens, and then they get pumped by Circle Power, and then they gain lifelink until end of turn. So in addition, also some cardo effects in the form of Realms Resolve, which can also exile top 2 cards, and then you may play those cards until the end of your next turn. And Highway Robbery, which is another plot effect, but this does is to you may discard a card or sacrifice a land. If you do, draw 2 cards. So you can chain some of these cards to trigger the non-creature spells and deal enough damage. So in addition to that support, you have this line up. It's choosing to become a budgeted version, but I think some of these lands can be changed into solid rare lands. But let's take a look at the choices for now. We have 4 copies of Temple of Malice that can trigger Scry to fix your card draw and can also produce black and red. We have 4 copies of Vector per capita, which is a town. There's center stop, but it will also produce black and red mana. 4 copies of Jagged Barrens that can also trigger ATB 1 damage to target opponent for black and red's fix, and a copy of Landfall Industrial Regency, which can be casted for adventure to create a 0/1 black wizard token with this ability to ping off opponents. It can be play land. But I think for this kind of deck setup, I can kind of fix some of these lands, maybe cut a few of this Vector, and play more, of course, of this Landfall to create more of these tokens. At any chances, you can cast this one for adventure. Also triggers your other wizards that in play, for example. At the same time, you can play land this in the early turns. But I think overall, this deck has pretty much a very good potential to have as a unique archetype for the Final Fantasy Standard. And lastly, let's take a look at the stats. Costing is pretty much even. We have 21 for black and 25 for red. Production is pretty much safe, 18 and 16, and cost average is 2.44. You can basically work well with the 4 mana in play. You can chain those Cardo effects or Excel effects to get more of your card advantage, and then later on get into Kuja and then cast more of those spot removals or burn spells depending on situations. And last but not the least is your deck tokens. So we have the Coruscation Mage again token, copy hero token from the rod, and then of course this is the wizard token that I said that can trigger the 0/1, but it goes to damage creatures or opponents whenever you cast a non-creature spell with this token into the battlefield. So I guess that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much basic for this kind of deck. Sideboard wise, I think you can just check on some of the typical build for black red aggro decks. Card choices like Duress or maybe additional burn spells, but particularly this deck looks to be a common one of the potential in the coming standard now that it will be played in Final Fantasy set metagame of the standard format. And guys, thank you for watching this deck tech video, short video for Kuja Wizards by SaffronOlive. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you on the next video.